Great news for music lovers. Now, this Wednesday, a couple of days, you can join WBUR and Conexión for an evening celebrating the rich heritage of Cuban music, featuring multiple performances by the Grammy Award-nominated Pedrito Martinez Group. There will also be an interactive discussion around the origins of Cuban music and its influences. And Robin Young, co-host of Here and Now, and Jose Masso, host of Con Salsa, will MC the event. And joining us this morning to tell us more is Mr. Con Salsa, Jose Masso. How are you?
I am well. Good morning.
Awesome, awesome.
Good to see you.
Now, I'm glad you got up early because last night I was listening to you on the show.
Thank you for being part of the Con Salsa family and staying tuned in until 3 o'clock in the morning. That's not easy.
You got about 4 hours sleep.
Yeah,
right?
something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And was listening to you last night as you talked about this event. So get me all psyched up. You got me all psyched up last night. I'll be there Wednesday. So what's going to happen Wednesday night?
So, you know, Albertito, we've been celebrating our rich Latino heritage for years now. And I've been blessed to having the opportunity to do it every weekend on Con Salsa. You know, it's going to be 42 years this coming June. And by matter of fact, I should celebrate your upcoming celebration of 22 years of being here as a host of TV. And I congratulate you for that. And I also appreciate the fact that you're here, you know, sharing this kind of information with your TV viewers. But having the opportunity to share our rich Latino heritage, especially salsa. We think of salsa as being from New York, as being Puerto Rican, as being very urban, but in reality, its roots are from Cuba. And it's important for us as we start opening relationships with Cuba that we share the information as to how it is that we're connected. As you being Cuban and me being Puerto Rican, we have the saying, dos alas del mismo pájaro, right? Two wings of the same bird. That's how close we are as people and as islands. And this music that we're going to celebrate this coming Wednesday is very much Cuban music. Pedrito Martinez, whose latest CD was recorded in Cuba. He's originally from Cuba. He came up here when he was a youngster in 1988. It's titled Havana Dreams. He had the ability to go back to his island to record an album with great Cuban musicians, including his family, including Isaac Delgado, Ren Blades is an invited guest. The great Wynton Marsalis is an invited guest on trumpet as well. He'll be performing with his group. But
you were playing some of that music last night.
Oh, yes, because this music is, I mean, if there's one album you want to put in your record collection, it's this one here.
Now that comes straight from definitely the #1 expert, at least in Eastern USA, on this, because we've been doing it for 42 years. You know what? I learned a lot. I wait actually for your sets to finish, because then you give a compilation. You actually explain from the first one on down when the album came out, who was it, and you learn a lot. So I know that you know what you're talking about.
Well, I'm not the only one, because we also have as a guest Ned Sublet. Now, this is an interesting story. The gentleman who wrote this very thick book on Cuban music is from Texas. He's American, a rock and roller, right? So he was raised on country music and rock and roll, moved to New York, and in the 1980s fell in love with salsa music. He just fell in love with it. So he went to every single club so he could hear it perform live. Finally, he got a chance to go to Cuba in the early 1990s, and he started traveling just about every year to Cuba. And he finally figured out, well, why don't I learn about this and really get immersed into the whole history of Cuban music? So he wrote this book, and he's our special guest. So along with the music, we're going to have an opportunity to discuss with him the origins of Cuban music, how it's been influencing not just Latin music, but jazz and other forms of music, the combination, the fusion of, you know, Latin rhythms with rock and roll, with soul, with jazz, et cetera, et cetera. So this is a very special moment, because it's not just going to be an entertainment of great music by Pedro Martinez and also another special guest, Emma Corredera. It's also going to be an opportunity for us to have a conversation with someone who knows a lot about this music. So I'm looking forward to this. So it's an evening of entertainment, of information, of education, of celebration, of good times.
And there is also a great element, a great cause, because I understand that the portion or the funds from the VIP is going to a great organization, Conexión, Phyllis Barajas, and that's a very important organization that's playing a key role here in Boston for many years.
It is, and mentoring and connecting, you know, young professionals with senior professionals so that they can move forward in their careers. So it's going to be a very interactive evening. You know, I'm going to have the opportunity to work with one of my colleagues who I have a lot of respect respect for. That's Robin Young from Here and Now, and see a lot of folks come to the Cutler Majestic. It's also part of our initiative of really starting to expand the menu of opportunities that we have for Latino listeners of the radio program. As much as on WBR, as much as we celebrate con salsa, as happy as we are that we've been able to do this close to 42 years and have a vast audience, we want to have a menu of opportunities for them outside of the show in events such as these, where we can at least expand the offering and that they can be part of it and they can participate in a way that they go home not only entertained but feel that they've been informed and educated.
Yeah, and just to kind of add on to, because I find it very interesting, because your show was really way ahead of its time, because you started to educate folks in English about our, in this case was music. But now you have this whole generation of young people listening to you, like under 30.
It is interesting, not only under 30. So I've had the occasion of running across people who will tell me, they'll recognize my voice. Masso. Yes, I am. And they're like 32 years old. I've been listening to you since I was like 4 years old. I said, really? And they still tune in, even though they're part of the millennial generation, which, I feel honored that they would even think of listening to a program such as mine.
I saw a Facebook post the other day, you don't know this, but I saw someone who said, who the heck was it? I can't remember now, but he says, I grew up listening to this with my parents, and I knew who it was. I can't remember who it is now, but it'll come to me, but it was someone who was young, and they're on Facebook letting you know that they grew up with your voice, listening to it. And I knew who it was. I meant to ask you. Well, I'll remember. But anyways, let's put up the information for those who want tickets.
Sure.
Because there are still plenty of tickets in the VIP, remember, to help Conexión. So it is Cuba con Salsa, and you can go on www.cutlermajestic.org. Very easy to purchase the tickets. It's this Wednesday, so for those of you who love to wait last minute, good news, there's still tickets available.
Yes.
Good. And you'll
Cuba
be there.
con Salsa. Of course I'll be there.
I'm waiting to see what outfit you wear, because you're also the best dressed man in Massachusetts.
Thank you for that, Albertito.
Right,
I appreciate it. Good to see you. Thanks a lot.
Masso, I will see him on Wednesday. All right. When we return, do you remember Menudo? You remember Menudo, right?
We brought him here when your Draco was one of the members.
That's
and
right.
Ricky Martin as well.
Yes, exactly. Going way back. Well, one of its former members, which he just mentioned, comes to Boston for a very special performance. We'll have all the details right here on Revista Hispana.